Welcome to Algebra 2, Semester 2, Unit 7A, Section 8.5. In this section, we're actually going to be now taking our rational expressions and adding or subtracting them. If these two first problems look really challenging to you, that's because that's what we're going to end up doing. I want to remind you, when you added fractions or subtracted fractions, 1/2 plus 3/4, the very first thing you had to do is what? Should be that you said, find a common denominator, which would be 4. Well, that means you need to convert this. 2 times 2 equals 4, so you had to multiply the top by that 2. Okay, same kind of thing is what we're going to do with these rational expressions, but let's work up to those two, come back and finish them. We're on page 4 of this packet. First thing that I want to do is I give you two fractions and I say, give me what the lowest common denominator would be on these fractions. So my denominator is 6r and my other denominator is 21r squared. So I factor these down. 2 times 3 times r. And I factor this one down. 3 times 7 times r times r. Now I ask myself, okay, this is like sending out invitations to a party, and here are the people that are in my friends lists, and I'm just checking, I've got a best friend, we're saying, okay, we want to invite all of your friends and all of her friends. Well, so here we go. We're going to invite 2 because he's on my friends list. When I go to invite 3, I notice that 3 is over on her friends list too. Does that mean that I need to send 2 invitations? Absolutely not. We'll just send 1 invitation, but it goes to 3. Okay. Now, we also need to send 1 to 7. And we need to send 1 to r. Now, r occurs on both of our lists, but then don't forget, r does have a twin here. I know it's a twin and it needs to be listed again because it was listed twice on her list. Okay? So now I multiply that all back together. 2 times 3 is 6 times 7 is 42, and r squared. So there's my answer. I would like you to think of one further step. I would like you to take these fractions and show me how you would get the entire fraction. So we multiplied by 6r, we multiplied the 7 and an r to get the 42r squared. So I just multiply 7r there. Down here on the 21r squared, all that we multiplied it by that wasn't on her friends list, the only person that I added that she didn't already have was a 2. So on that one, I would write 21r squared times 2 equals to 42r squared. And then that would be r plus 2 times 2. For my top number. I'm sorry, I kind of ran out of room there. Not real good planning. But you see what I'm talking about there. Okay, so the lowest common denominator for this one, I would do x minus 7 squared. I would show the factors there. And that's x minus 7, x minus 7. And over here, x squared minus x minus 42. Well, that's one of those nice shortcuts because of the 1 on the front here. So I know that it's x, what two numbers multiply to be negative 42? That'll be a negative and a positive. And 6 and 7 would have a difference of 1. 7 being farther from 0, so it'll carry that sign. Now, I think of my party list. I say, well, I have x minus 7. So does she. So I don't need to invite that x minus 7 twice. But here is his twin. We do have to invite that twin because he was on my list twice. Okay, now we have x plus 6. So that's my lowest common denominator. Due to a shortage of room, we won't figure out the top number right now. Okay, so now we look at our denominators here. C minus 13, that can't break down at all. 4c plus 11 can't break down at all. So that's our lowest common denominator right there. This one, x squared plus 8x minus 9, I think it could break down. We have a negative 9, so we know that it'll be a negative and a positive. Bring our x down. What two numbers multiply to be 9, add to be 8? That would be 1 and 9. So the 9 being further from 0 will carry the sign of that 8, so it's 9 and then 1. This polynomial broken down would be two factors that multiply to be a positive 18. Their signs would be the same, and since the middle number is positive, I know they're going to be both positive. And two numbers that multiply to be 18 and add to be 11 would be 9 and 2. Well, I can see on our party lists that we both have x plus 9, so we can invite x plus 9 once, and then we have x minus 1 off of that list, and x plus 2 off that list. Okay, so that's how I find the GCF. So now we come to our fractions. It looks like the tape may run out on this, so I'm actually going to stop it and we'll just have a part 2 right here. I'll make sure and get a part 2 on this.